All right, so this is gonna be day 21, I believe. Yeah, 21 of our little series here. And today, I knew this would come out on the 4th, so I wanted to draw. I was just trying to think of who are my American idols. What character from a piece of media do I just love? And the only one I can think of, I mean, the best Patriot I know is obviously Homelander. Obviously, boys, season 4 is out on Amazon Prime Video, which you can watch if you have an Amazon Prime account. Trying to make sure I'm a sellout from day one, so that people don't convince me of it later in life. But regardless, this was honestly none of this was like super hard to draw. It was more of like the creativity that was hard, like trying to reframe the scene in the way that I wanted, because I wanted it to be um like that mirror scene from season 4 where he breaks the mirror and then he has a little schizophrenic episode. Um, because that was just the scene that came to my mind. That and um, I don't know, it's just interesting. There's a lot to draw. So I wanted to be like the cracked mirror, and then there'd be all these like distorted faces laughing at him, and then being mad at him. Blah, 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 blah. Unfortunately, I'm not good enough at art to do that. Unfortunately, I could not get it to look correct. I couldn't get it to look right. You can see here I was fiddling with this. This was yesterday's recording. I was fiddling with it for a while, but I can never get it quite right, which annoying, but what you gonna do? Because you can see here that like his face just doesn't look quite right in that like bottom image. I tried to draw it, it just the amount of times I had to keep messing with it was not good. Because like in terms of actually like being a face, it's fine, but in terms of being like Homelanders, it doesn't really check out. But it's fine. I mean, again, it's one of those things I have to work on, like trying to. That's a big problem I have when I draw from references. I can get what the face looks like down, but I can't get it to look like the person. Which still sucks. Because again, that's the correct expression, but just not the correct dude. But yeah, no, this year, I don't know. Season 4 has been on an incredible run so far. I haven't seen the most recent episode. Um, that came out, I guess today and last Thursday. I think I might have just not seen the ones for yeah. I've only not seen the one that came out today. Um, but it was but yeah, no, I mean everything else. I mean I've liked it basically since like season 2. And it's always funny. It's just always one of those things where it's like anytime I watch it, I'm never having a bad time. Also, what I really like is they dropped 3 episodes instead of one episode, one episode, one episode. Like they dropped three and then one, then one, then one. Because after those 3 episodes, I was actually like into watching The Boys again. Like I had kind of like recapped like okay, what's happened. Okay, we're good to go again. And so then it was much easier to watch the show in a real sense. You can see here I'm still struggling with hair and all that stuff. But yeah, um, it is very odd, or at least jarring, I guess, that um that it has all of this like anti like anti corporation and anti this and anti yada yada stuff, right? But then it you know is made by Amazon. Like it's weird that because obviously I don't pay for like Amazon Super Ultimate Premium Prime whatever. I just pay for like it's just the Amazon the normal package, and so seeing an ad read after they make fun of the exact package is like I don't know. It's very it gives off the impression that like kind of calls coming from inside the house. But yeah. So what I was trying to frame here is I wanted the actual cracked like eye, like I wanted the eye, like the mirror to look like an eye looking at him. Which I think I eventually get down. But I wanted the face, the like I don't know, it's hard to describe because it's super artsy and fartsy and stuff. But I wanted to give it that fun distorted effects, and you can see here that I basically developed both of them to completion. Um, this is the issue with using a bunch of different layers. Yeah, I kind of forgot which one was which. And I do think, again, I don't think any of this looked necessarily bad. I think I just didn't really focus on the idea of having like a cracked mirror being like the focal point, I guess, enough. I tried to use some cross hatching to make it look more distinctive, which I think succeeded to a certain degree. But you know, always can do better. See this, yeah, that was far too red for my liking. And then this was I realized I had to kind of redo the line art just because it was really getting on to me at this point. The line art was just so like kind of all over the place. So I went back over it, redid it, and so that I could have like a distinctive line art layer. Um, and yeah, so one thing again I'm still really trying to implement it is having the idea of like coloring in the outmost thing and the next inmost like going from out to in because obviously the thing in the in should be the thing you're focusing on. So I want to color that the most, but obviously if you have to do it the other way around, which, you know, live and learn, as Sonic the Hedgehog says. But yeah, I think all these uh all these like slashes and all this, it really adds to this idea of it feeling like cracked and shattered. And that is definitely what I was going for, and I think that was pretty much developed by the idea of having this like line art layer. So yeah, you can see here I was thinking of having the red look like the cracked marks, and then I was thinking maybe using the blue as like the actual shading because he has blue eyes, and then they're like messed up by the red, but I ended up going against it. So I used different shades of red. I tried to make sure that none of the shades overlapped, even though it's not entirely plausible. One thing I need to work on when I'm doing shading that I've noticed is that like there's parts where there's like you can't there's not it's not all quite white. Like I'll miss some splotches of white and stuff. But I do like this effect that I use with the black here, having it like really focus into the middle. I think it was very well done. It's very subtle, but it works. Which is, I mean, that's the point of a lot of these like fancy art techniques. It's supposed to be subtle, but it's supposed to still do what you want. Yeah, the eyebrows I think definitely. I forget where I take them away, but they definitely yeah. It just ended up being yeah right here. It just ended up being so hard to color around and to do all this, and it even though it helps add emotion to the eyes, I think I could do it with the actual eyeball placement a little bit better. Um, I will say I think this generally has a problem of not representing the original scene as well. I think like as in terms of like an artistic thing, I think that's a problem. So this is day two. This is what I've done today. Um, I've tried to define the cracks a little bit better. I give it that eye shape a little more. Um, because most of this was finishing touches and doing stuff with Homelander and all that. Um, and that was fun. I added these like little pink marks to the eyes because fun fact, your eyes have that. um, which again, I think a lot. I don't know. I know that there's a bunch of people that love the idea of their like of like drawing eyes. Like I know that was a huge thing on Instagram and all that stuff. I never got into that. I hate drawing eyes. I think it's stupid and I think it sucks. I like drawing muscles way more. So that's why my faces look like shit because I never like drawing them. Generally, I thought my color selection here was pretty okay. I thought like especially like choosing the hair colors and all that, very much pretty on point. Again, the shading here is very much a strong point. I think I generally could have maybe done Homelander a little bit better, but didn't wanted to try to get this out by like 8:30 or so tonight. So see here I'm going over stars, just because I wanted to give it a little more visual contrast with the rest of the image, kind of make Homelander himself pop out a little bit better. So yeah. Yeah, and then here you can see I just kind of ended up wanting to delete the eyes. It just because it didn't feel quite right anymore, and I don't know. I wanted it to feel more focused, and so that's what this big eye is supposed to do. And I think it generally gives that effect of him staring into himself, kind of giving that idea of self reflection, which is the point of the scene. And then I added some more effects and stuff to make it pop. But yeah, that should be the end of the piece. It was fun to draw. It was interesting. Generally, I enjoyed it. And happy Fourth, all that. And I will see you in the next video. Bye.